So Wednesday night dash season is over. Someone wasn't there this week. Which I've got a fun thing to point out with that coming up here in a little bit. There's a teaser for you to stick around. Got behind closed doors, another good week at Homestead, NASCAR at Las Vegas, and we'll talk a little bit about Formula One coming up this weekend with the U.S. Grand Prix. Stuff for Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Fluck.
I'm Eric Richardson.
And this is the second season finale at Phoenix that you have missed.
Yeah, this time at least it wasn't a child.
No. There was no 2 hours before. Not going to be there tonight. My kid is coming.
No, my wife is a big Penguins fan, and they were playing the Red Wings, and so we drove over, watched a horrendous game.
So she's a Penguins fan?
Yep.
But she grew up in Florida?
Yep.
How does that work?
Yeah, just so happened she liked Penguins, and there was a Penguins hockey team, and it just kind of went from there. I don't mind the
Penguins.
But you can see clearly that that's my team.
Nice.
What was it? We were like 10, 11 years old when they moved to Colorado, and I've pretty much been a fan ever since they moved.
Yeah.
So don't call me bandwagon. I've been with them since the beginning.
Right
in
now.
Colorado.
Right. Like my thing with I haven't really watched a lot of hockey in recent years part of it is because we've been shut out on the regional sports channel for so long. I mean, that's over. That's awesome. I can now, but I think my big thing now is I've become a Coyotes apologist. I'm not a Coyotes fan. I'm a Coyotes apologist. And I want the team to, they have obviously had in their 26th season in Phoenix or in Phoenix area. They've had a lot of drama. They've had a lot of unstable ownership issues.
Yes.
And they're like, hockey doesn't work in Arizona. I'm like, you know what? No club would work anywhere. I mean, let's look at the Penguins, for example. We do remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, the Penguins almost left Pittsburgh.
It was real close.
They were very close to leaving Pittsburgh until the ownership group with Mario Lemieux, Penguins legend, came through and saved the day. The Penguins in Pittsburgh almost left. The whole narrative that hockey doesn't work in Arizona is bull. There have been a lot of strategically bad decisions made by both the ownership and the NHL group. They've shown instance this can work if given one competent ownership, which any sports franchise needs to succeed.
Yep. And
they have that now. They finally have a competent owner. I think he stepped in about Alex Marillo, owns a bunch of casinos, owns the Sahara in Las Vegas, owns a bunch of TV and radio stations. They have their stable ownership. Finally, 2 out of 26 years of stable ownership, not exactly a good thing. The second part of it was they, I think this was 3 ownership groups ago, took a free stadium deal in the far West Valley, which is not the hockey demographic. The hockey demographic here is the East Valley. They took the free stadium deal, and there was only one way to get over there. And you would spend, if you're coming from the East Valley to go to a Coyotes game where all the hockey demographic lives in Scottsdale and down into Chandler and Gilbert and now the Queen Creek area, Tempe, it could take you 2 hours to get there because just traffic through I-10 in Phoenix was so bad. And no one would show up to weeknight games. The weekend, if you look at it, the weekend attendance was better. And when the team was doing well, the attendance was better. So it's like, you have a competent ownership group. You put a stadium, which that's still a problem, in an area that people want to go or that can travel to.
They're still at ASU, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be at ASU. They don't have a new stadium. They had a stadium announced in Tempe. it required a public vote, and it was basically, it's an old landfill, and they were going to get public funds to clean up the landfill, which you got to clean up the landfill anyway. It's going to be leaking into your groundwater, which we need all the groundwater we can get out here. And if they voted against it because they're like, no, tax handouts for billionaires. It's like, well, you know what? You could either have had a nice stadium and entertainment complex, give out money to clean up the landfill, or you could use your tax dollars to clean up the landfill yourself and have a dirt lot out there. So voters,
they're building new stadiums now. They're just putting so much around it. It's a great entertainment bar, restaurant district.
It's not, they're not putting stadiums out in the middle of nowhere. They're putting the entertainment, and it was the wrong location. And now, they've allegedly have purchased a plot of land in not too far from that site, and where kind of Tempe, Mesa, Scottsdale all comes together. It's actually very close, allegedly the location, right where the Chicago Cubs play their spring training ball, right on the other side of the highway there. So they said that they would have more news on that. That's a good location right there. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good location. So you know what? You build a stadium there, I probably would get season tickets. So I am a Coyotes apologist. Long story short, this is not a hockey show, but we've gone off topic.
What else is new?
Yeah, well, it happens. Let's see here. So Tuesday night, behind closed doors, was at Homestead. Eric wins again. Yeah, has brought it down to one race.
Last 3 races have been a must-win scenario. I've gotten 2 of the 3 going into next week. There's I think a 40 or 44 point gap, and it's now 12 going into the finale.
It's basically win, you win. You don't win.
Not quite.
Really?
If I have to take the pole, lead a lap, and lead the most laps and win the race, as that would give me the 14 points. If Derek Booker's leading, if he leads at least 1 lap, first to second is only a 10-point gap. So I'd get 14 and he'd get 11. So I could still win by 1 point.
So you're putting all the pressure on me to finish second.
If I don't win the pole or I don't lead the most laps, then I need help from other drivers. I still have to go out and win, and he has to finish 3rd or lower.
Okay, so you're putting pressure. I got to finish second next week. Okay, we crowd
on me,
or we crowd the field.
Then I still have to do the work.
Yeah. So hey, you know,
this is awesome. This is 2 seasons in a row, even with a small field. It's coming down to the final race. Last season, it came down to literally a photo finish for the championship.
With me right there.
Yeah, you were right there. Almost exploded for both of us. And so we're coming into it again. It's just such a fun and tremendous league. It's too bad we can't broadcast this.
We can't broadcast and get a few more people to show up on a regular basis. I've had a lot of fun, and you look at my league results for both the Tuesday. Well, I only did 1 Tuesday night race before this, and I almost walked in cold and almost won the race. And I missed out on the first week. I wasn't planning on running the season. And then just kind of things worked out timing wise with school and my kids going to bed earlier. I'm like, you know what? I can make it. And I started showing up, and I walked in the first or the second week after not coming the first week. And I'm like, hello. And you were shocked that I was there.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Like, you see my name connecting. It's like, wait a second. And, and I've made, I had a very, very poor year league wise. It was just a combination of, it felt like you're not making any progress. And the GT3 season just completely destroyed my confidence.
It was a struggle bus for me too.
I had the Atlanta race back in the February, where I was kind of in prime position to make a run at the end. And then iRacing locked up because of my graphics driver. It's just everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And honestly, what has changed I'm getting more seat time, one, but two, I sat down with the coach, shout out Justin Yee, and pointed some pretty obvious things out that I was doing wrong. And I was like, okay. And so, making more of a conscious effort to focus on those things. And you've noticed my performance has been rapidly getting better.
Yeah,
In the
definitely been up there with us.
In the last, I don't know, last 4 or 5 weeks. I 3 seconds off last week. I wasn't too far off the week before. I finished second the time before that at Nashville. And Wednesday night dash, I'm chasing people down. I'm saving tires. Still making a lot of mistakes out there. And, there's some racecraft issues, and, I'm starting to chase people down, but letting them get that far ahead in the first place, one. Some of that's due to tire management, but some of that's, just mistakes. But two, now it's okay, I've chased them down. Now I have to get around them. And
it's one thing to catch, it's a whole other thing to pass.
Yeah. And the strategy that I previously used is, let's hope they screw up. Can't count on that. I mean, there's been plenty of cases where that has helped me to my benefit, but
in our league, we got a bunch of just solid drivers.
I lucked out
every now and then, but it's pretty cool.
So at Nashville, where I finished second, I was chasing Derek down, and I was making huge gains on him at the end. And
I was watching the gap the entire time.
And I just, just like, I don't know what it was. This has happened now the last 5 races I've been in, with like 10, 15 to go. It's like I got shot out of a cannon, and now all of a sudden I'm like matching time with the leaders. And I need to go back and look at some of that data, and just like, what am I doing wrong in the first half? And I mean, is it just comfort? There's something going on there. But you know what? I've got the analytics open here right now. Let's
ARCA finale should be a lot of fun. 100 laps at Michigan. It's very much going to be a draft race. So if you can stay with the pack, anybody's going to have a shot. And unlike last year when we went to Vegas, I could afford to just sit there. So I kind of just stalked the entire race.
Not this week.
No, I'm going to have to be aggressive. Hopefully I don't overdrive the tires and burn them up.
I need to get out there. I haven't done that yet. I was so focused on, oh man, I botched my qualifying run last night, or on Wednesday night. And I had this picked out. I had this strategy that was working pretty well. I was into the 27s. I still would have only, best case scenario, would have finished or started third. I started fourth instead. But I come around lap 1, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just came on the throttle too soon. I just lost it and went sideways across the start finish line. Ran a 30-second lap, and I'm just like, well, shoot. That didn't work out. But let's look at the last stint here. Yeah, at race time, I ran a 28:1:49. Yeah, I had a 30.105 at the end. That was where I smacked the wall. Lost all my momentum there. But yeah, I kept it in the 28s the whole second stint.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I was only maybe 2 or 3 tenths off the lead pack with Colton, and Colton and Tyler put on a show last night.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch. I want to see it.
So listen to this. This is wild. So I ran 40 laps essentially on the second stint. The tire wear on my front right tire at the end, 88.76% left.
Oh, wow.
And I'm still running 28s. Like, that's why I kept it consistent, because I wasn't burning the crap out of the tire. That would have never happened last year.
So funny story with Homestead, the second stint, my right rear tire, the inner portion of it was down to 37%.
Oh, yeah, on the first stint, I was 89.16. Like, I was just not burning off tire. I mean, I was falling behind, but maybe I needed to be a little. I mean, I needed to be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, it's pretty obvious now looking at it, but you look back at some of the early season. Yeah, I know, like I'm burning off, and I'm like 41%. And what you said, you were at 30 in Homestead.
Yeah, on the IndyCar on Tuesday
Oh,
night.
IndyCar. Okay, let's see what my IndyCar was for Homestead. There it is. Do you use VRS at all?
I have started to a little bit more
It's
and getting
very
ready
helpful.
for the Petit Le Mans.
Once you really like understand what you're looking at, it's like, oh,
Yeah, I was able to pick up quite a bit and kind of figuring out where it was.
first stint 47.85 in the middle. That was the lowest. And then on the second stint, 49.16. So I was right in line with you with those. But it's just overall, it's like I've taken my approach has changed, and I wish I would have went and sat down with Justin sooner. I need to have a follow up with him soon, and just the amount of improvement I made in such a short time. And I took the next gen out at Michigan just as a test to see what I could do. And I'm by myself in a test session, and I got myself down to a 39.861 by myself in essentially a race configuration.
That's not bad at all.
No, not at all. And that was almost 10 laps into the stint. I got myself down to 39. So it's like I now have the opposite problem in these stock cars, where before I was just burning the crap out of the tires. Now it's like, okay, maybe I'm not burning enough off the tire. But it's helped. Like, you watch the telemetry and you just see that gap just shrink, shrink, and shrink, and shrink. And now I'm
Oh
on
yeah.
top. It's just I got to make a better move, or be a little less obvious on what my move is going to be when I do get up there. But the fact that I'm chasing people down at the end is probably my biggest accomplishment on the season. So if you would ask me 6 weeks ago how I felt, I'm just like, I quit. I'm putting the wheel away, and I'll talk to you guys in January.
Yeah, we were
But
talking a little bit before we hit record here, and I was talking about how I mix up my line a little bit. I try to keep it consistent, but get a little bit of variation in there. That way, if somebody is mirror driving or planning on, okay, he's going to stay low, I'm just going to work the high side here. There's movement there, so you can't really plan too much. Hopefully, I'm not giving away too many secrets right here.
I mean, you know what? The
That's
best
racecraft,
secret,
though.
the best secret is that they don't know where you're going. The end of Days of Thunder. And I know Cole, I know his move. He always goes to the outside, or he goes high. And then he makes his move, and he's like, he's going high. He's going low. Son of a. As he passes to win the Daytona 500 with only one gear.
Homestead and IndyCars maybe a little bit tougher to pass on. And in that opening lap, Derek was making a move to the inside, and I just stuck up by the wall and ended up getting a great run and was able to hold that position. Then kind of closed the door in 1 and 2. And then he came out right behind me from our pit stop, and then it flipped. He ended up on the high side of the track, and I just went straight to the bottom and made that stick happen and came out.
You know what my
There's
turning
a guest.
At least they I love like some of the stories people tell on Reddit, where this person got reported for intentional wrecking on iRacing, and they wrote back and said, I'm glad I have my stream because I can prove this. It was not an intentional wreck. My cat walked in front of my monitor and I couldn't see. And it was not intentional at all. And I tried to tell people, I'm like, I'm sorry, my cat walked in front of my monitor. But what I was saying is my turning point in the year was how poorly I did at Irwindale. And that
I
that
couldn't talk
was
about that one.
that was so bad. Like, and then we had Chicago after that. I made it 3 laps, and then that's right. Chicago, I was doing okay. And that's the one where I thought I was clear of Brian McKinney, and I wasn't. And I started coming up, and by the time I saw him, I stopped too late, and I, lost control and slid into him. And fortunately, got through okay, and no harm for him. Which, I don't want to ruin someone's race, but yeah, I made it a whopping 2 laps in the second half, and I threw in the towel. I'm like, I need help. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I had met with Justin after Irwindale. That was my low point. And I was actually better at Chicago. It's just
That's the one that you practiced
wreck.
with Justin.
Yeah, we that's right. Justin and I practiced that, and I was doing pretty well. I'm still really awful.
I had a good run there.
Taking the green flag. That got me. I've only had a handful of races where I've had a good restart, and Homestead, I started second, and I'm watching for you to run because I don't want to, pass you for the start finish line. And I'm trying to anticipate your move, and you were gone. I was like, crap. and Derek blew right past me, and lined up third right behind you. And I'm just like, wow, crap.
Yeah, even when I can go on pole, I think with behind closed doors, I've had like 3 poles maybe. And on restarts, my start position changes every time.
I thought I had the pole at Homestead this week, and then you snuck in and got me by like 2/10. I'm like, no, because I was sitting there watching. I'm sitting there one, and then right at the very end, you just got your second lap in, and because I think on your opening lap, I want to say you were sitting like 4th, and I'm guessing you sacrificed your first lap for the second lap.
Yeah, just trying to get up to speed.
That's
I think
funny.
I was a little offline too on that first lap.
And it's funny too. I tried that when I was testing at Phoenix. I was trying to, sacrifice the first lap in favor of the second lap, and then the first lap ended up being faster. I'm like, okay, well that didn't work out as planned. I mean, the time was good in the practice. I don't know. That was overall. I'm happy with how the season ended. I wouldn't have said that 6 weeks ago, but I'm happy with how things are going, and I just need to keep this going into the off season, going into June.
I'm kind of glad I didn't have to run the last race. I was ready for ARCA to be over. It was a rough year or season, I should say.
I am I'm itching for some more ARCA, so I might have to hit some official race. I haven't done an ARCA official race. I mostly do trucks.
Yeah, I've done a few ARCA. I need to actually get the rest of this season on ARCA and trucks to hit my 8 races. Indy, I'm pretty much in every week. I'd like to get more than one a week, but time
is a problem. It's like time, sacrifice sleep, sacrifice other things. But I think now that the leagues are basically over, I'll gonna have to start getting some more official races in.
Yeah, I do think running behind closed doors has helped you, just running with others and being competitive and kind of running.
It's been a good self-esteem.
Others.
It's been a really good. I posted a video on my Instagram where I came out in the middle of traffic, in between 2 cars. One was a bit slower, but I just cruised right by, and I mean, it slowed me down enough that I almost caught Derek. I made a mistake. Yeah, and I made a mistake when I got close to him, and it happens. But
and with Homestead in the Indy cars, that arrow push is awful,
especially in turn 4. Oof, coming out of turn 4.
Yes.
Especially early in the run when you're coming. Yeah, you got the arrow push, but also early in the run before your tires are warm. it's hold your breath through turn 4. And I had so many close calls with the wall.
That was me on lap 1.
And I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna destroy myself before we even get started here. I can't.
It's lucky I had clean air.
Yeah. It's.
But I kind of knew I had to defend it, because then it was going to be tough.
But overall, we got Michigan. You mentioned already draft track. Let's hang around. Let's get a good one.
You know, we opened last season with Michigan and we had a 3 wide photo finish. And so I figured, you know, let's put Michigan at the end and let's make it another big race.
It's what, 125 laps?
100.
100?
It's a 2.5 mile, isn't it?
No,
it's
Michigan's
a 2. It's 150 laps then. I can't do math. Did I have it set wrong?
You have it set for 125 laps right now.
Okay, so yeah, we're good.
So we're doing a US 250.
Pretty much.
Let's just hope it doesn't start off the way.
My math abilities are subpar, so.
That's why I invented the calculator. Don't
Yes.
need them.
Either way, 250 miles and really season 2 on the line.
Will I help or will I harm? Got some good storylines coming in there.
Well, no Formula 1 rules here.
No,
everybody for themselves.
No Ferrari.
Drop back, let your teammate pass.
Yeah, and pass right at the start finish line on the final lap. No, I will not be Rubens Barrichello this weekend. Or next week, rather.
Yeah, either way, it's been a fun season, fun series. If you're listening, come out and join us. It's a blast.
It is. It really is. And I've been trying to get people from the Wednesday night league to come in. We're going to do our multi-class fun race to end the year.
I'm looking forward to that one.
That just, we checked all the boxes. We had to go a track configuration that we have not done, Old Atlanta. Cars that we have not done, Gen 4, 87 NASCARs, 1987 NASCARs, trucks. Why don't we just put them all on the track together and see what happens?
Gonna be fun.
Multi-class oval racing and stock cars. I did an AI race today. It was about what I expected. You know what I was thinking we should do? I'll save the replay. And I think we need to have a watch party at some point where I'll put the replay up on my screen and on a Discord share, but we'll also stream the watch party. And so everybody can give their commentary as we're watching the replay of the race and just watch this and just, grab some popcorn, grab a couple beers and live stream the replay.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
And, we'll put I think we can get the ticker to work on a replay. I haven't tried it if it works on a replay or not.
It shows final results, doesn't it?
Well, the iRacing TV.
Or I guess the new one.
Yeah, the iRacing TV, I have not tried that on a replay. I think it does work on a replay. But the positions, I can't remember on the other one. Either the positions don't work or the lap count. One of the two doesn't work. But I think we should have just everybody who is available. We get on Discord, put it in the voice chat, live stream it.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary and just kind of watch this thing and see. Because I think this is going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So
I did a 13th week ridiculousness with trucks, 87s. I forget the other one. It was kind of wild.
Wasn't it an ARCA? Was the other one?
I don't remember. It was actually Atlanta Super Speedway.
Yeah, I figured the old one would be more fun.
Yeah, you got to drive that one.
I don't know about sticking those on a super speedway. I think that would be really messy.
Awful.
That would be really, really messy. I mean, we saw when they did the multi-class race where they put the cars on Talladega
with an Indy car.
With an Indy car. What was it? An Indy car, a next gen, and a truck, I think.
Yeah.
Or ARCA. It was IndyCar next gen ARCA.
That's it.
And the Indy cars would be like lapping the NASCARs in like 3 laps.
And then it'd get bumped and destroyed.
It's just the Indy car would break away, they'd get back around, and then the challenge for the Indy cars was surviving passing through the field for the next time you go around.
I'll tell you, driving IndyCar at Talladega in an official race, wow. That was insane.
There's a reason why they do not do that in real life.
Oh, it's not safe.
No, they don't do that at Daytona. They don't do it. They're not going to go to Atlanta. Indy raced it at the old Atlanta config at one point, didn't they?
I think they did once or twice.
Yeah, it's probably been many years ago, but I swear there was an Indy race in Atlanta. We'll have to check the history. But speaking of, well, kind of mentioned NASCAR there. Did you watch the Las Vegas race?
Yeah, I don't think I got the start of it, but I did watch the end. It was meh.
I almost had my prediction of Christopher Bell into the last four. Almost came true right away.
Yeah, so far I think I have 3 of the 4 that are up there. I got 1 guaranteed.
Yeah, the Atlanta 500 Classic was an Indy Racing League event held at Atlanta Motor Speedway from 1998 to 2001.
So, yeah, 3 years.
And kart ran there actually. Well, the early kart when they were still like kart and USAC before the split. Here you go. So it ran 4 years. And the first winner was Kenny Breck. The second one was won by Scott Sharp. That was the Cobalt Mechanics Tools 500 presented by MCI WorldCom, which MCI WorldCom didn't last too much longer after that.
Yeah, they sponsored cars too.
They did until they found out that their finances looked just like Enron's finances. And then the last 2 years, Team Menard put Greg Ray.
Greg Ray, that's a name for you. There'll be some fun drivers if we get him on Garage Talk here.
Man, Greg Ray, like, I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. And there was the arguments that Greg Ray, like, if it wasn't for the split, Greg Ray would have never had a shot, and he wasn't that good. It's like the dude won the IRL in '99. You know, it's the guys that, you know, driving those Team Menards cars, which we know were not the most reliable machines. I mean, we watched Tony Stewart destroy enough of them. I vividly remember this is probably around 1997 or so in Texas. And Tony Stewart had like a lap lead on the field and blew his engine late in the race. And Billy Boat. Remember Billy Boat?
Other name.
Billy Boat came back and won the race. And as he's celebrating a victory, he drove for AJ.
I believe I actually watched that race.
Yeah, and you know where I'm going with this. AJ and Billy Boat are celebrating the win. Arie Luyendyk, who actually lives down the road from me, which is weird to say, but he does. Arie lives down the road. He lives like 15 minutes down the road from me. Walked up into victory lane and said, I'm appealing this because there was a scoring error and I actually won this race. To which AJ, as he already turned around and walked away, AJ went up and hit him.
AJ is awesome. His temper is terrible, but great.
His temper is legendary.
Don't make AJ mad. Legend of racing.
What's he like, 88 now?
Yeah, he's up there. One of the now four-time Indy 500 champions.
Yeah, it was a backhand to the head. 1997, Texas. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I remember this because my parents had moved my room to the basement, and we had a TV in the basement. And I would watch TV, and then I hear my parents come down the stairs, and I turn the TV off and act like I was sleeping, and then they'd leave, and I turn the TV back on. And I was supposed to be in bed because I was going to summer camp. It was a Saturday night race. I was going to summer camp the next day. And I was supposed to be sleeping, but I was watching this race. And I'm glad I did, because I got to see AJ backhand Arie Luyendyk. But Arie was right. There was a scoring mistake, and Arie was awarded the race the next day.
The joy of the night races at Texas.
What is it about night races and just tempers? It's like full moon.
Yeah, it's just
And anytime
get to go under the lights. It's like Friday night football in high school. You just enjoy playing at night.
it's just Bristol. Bristol is your poster child for
Bristol night race, just legendary.
This year was pretty tame, actually. I don't think
it has been for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there really
I miss the helmet throws and the heat pads on the heels,
and crews wrestling each other.
The birdies that come out after wrecks, and I miss those days of NASCAR.
We almost had one this year with Chastain and Noah Gragson, and
they should have let that go.
Yeah, security. Yeah, that was going to be a good fight, and the security. It
was funny. Chastain warned him. He's like, "Let go."
He goes, "Go walk away. Just get out of here."
Pop. After Chastain got one, I think they should do it like hockey. Once you go to the ground, then you break it up.
And then you break it up. Yep.
But if they're on their feet, let them go. You're going to get a bunch of headlines and be on the news, and you're going to get fans.
I mean, that's part of what got NASCAR the attention it did in the 90s is, you'd see crews brawling with each other on pit road during the race.
Awesome.
You'd have like pit crews beating each other up and, on pit road while the race is going on. It's like, I don't,
so much fun.
And it's like, people like they didn't get hurt. There's a few cuts and scrapes that came
some bloody noses and all that.
But I mean, it was
whatever.
I mean,
every so often they get hit by cars. What's a punch to the face?
Yeah. Can you honestly think of a case where there was a major injury as a result of a driver fight or a crew fight ever?
I'm sure we could probably go back and find something, but just offhand, other than some bumps and bruises and some scrapes, no.
I think, though, when you look at fights in sports, like obviously like hockey and fighting, it's a culture thing. But my favorite is baseball. And not necessarily because the fighting, because more often than not, there isn't any fighting. It's just, there's something magical about baseball when, somebody gets plunked or someone gets thrown at or someone's chirping at each other and they cut to the overhead camera of the diamond and you see both benches emptying with all the players on the field. You see the bullpen doors in the outfield open with all the relief pitchers running out.
Yep.
And they just kind of gather in this thing and they just chirp at each other. And somebody, have you ever seen a bench clear at a baseball game in person?
I have. Actually, when Colorado Springs Sky Sox were AAA, they were playing Iowa Cubs. Got to see a bench clearing there. Nothing major from it.
I actually saw the Cubs in a bench clearer. And they were playing the Marlins. This was 2018. And what was hilarious about it is I forget what it involved. Wilson Contreras and I forget who from the Marlins got it. And so the benches are emptying and Chris Bryant is out there and Starlin Castro was playing for Miami at that time, former Cub, former teammate of these guys. And Chris Bryant reaches out. It's like Castro's like trying to get into this fight. And Chris Bryant reaches out and starts tickling Castro. It was just like the most unserious moment in a baseball fight ever. And it's just like, wow, I can't believe I got to witness that in person. But anyway, fights. Fun, well, we got Homestead this weekend. A lot of Homestead discussions here.
Yeah.
This time the real thing. It's the race is named for Kevin Harvick. He's gonna be driving a Budweiser car.
Yeah, special paint. I guess now vinyl wrap that they put on these things.
I mean, it looks good. I mean, they do
They
a
do.
really they do they.
The wraps
Did
look good.
you see the 2311 cars?
Yeah.
We got the Hamburglar on Tyler Reddick's car. Yeah, he's got the Hamburglar, and Bubba Wallace is driving the Grimace car. And I think they were originally created. They like McDonald's or somebody with McDonald's made them as a joke, and they went over so well on social media that they're like, okay, we're gonna run these.
Who was it? Tyler Reddick's car. I really liked it last week.
I don't remember.
Is the Air Jordan.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of cool.
I mean, I still have and Kurt Busch is driving that car. Oops. Got the Kurt Busch Air Jordan.
Yep.
That's a good looking car. But yeah, we're getting close to the end here.
NASCAR's down to what, 3 races to go?
Yeah, Homestead. You've got Martinsville with no wall ride this year, and then
Kyle Larson is in to the championship 4.
That's not surprising. I'm sure Byron will be joining him.
It's gonna be fun to see who moves on.
And then
Here's a question for you. Does Kyle Larson or does somebody else win the next 2 races and give it 2 positions that transfer on points and not wins?
good question. I kind of think Byron's going to win one of these next 2. What's he won 6 so far this year?
5 or 6.
Yeah, I think he's at 6. I feel like he's going to win one of these next 2.
Both those cars will be tough at Martinsville. Homestead could be a toss-up.
And the thing with Larson is he's such a competitor. Like he's already locked in.
He's not going to give up though. He's going to go.
No, he's going to try to win all 3. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not going to just sit there and cruise and just take his 19th place. Like he's going to try to win. And
that's what I've said it before. I wish it was still like that, where you got to be consistent. Like Truex has been awful in the playoffs, yet he could still move on.
He could sneak right
one
through.
Race.
He could sneak right through. And like he just, it's crazy. Yeah, there's a group on social media does the Winston Cup standings, and they use the old Winston Cup format and track it. And actually, I think it's actually Denny Hamlin has the lead. And I think Truex second by like 9 points or something like that. So he's still up there on the old scoring system.
Yeah, I miss that.
The Winston Cup.
It should be the full season.
We salute
That's why you run it.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I understand why they did that. You can't crown a champion in September or whatever that was with Matt Kenseth.
It happens once. Let's change everything.
Yeah, well, that's all it is in sports. Somebody, has a crazy year, they exploit a rule. It's like, we got to rewrite the rules. Oh no, we had an NFL game end in a tie. We got to change the overtime rules. I feel like there've been more ties. I feel like there've been more ties in the NFL since. Well, actually, though, they changed the overtime rule because they didn't want somebody taking the kickoff, driving 40 yards, and kicking a field goal and calling it a day. They want you to actually earn that win. That's why there've been more ties. But
I do like college rules. Put it on 25 and just go at it.
Then start doing 2-point conversions.
I like it. It's fun. It's exciting. There's entertainment to it.
Except when it's your team involved.
Well, so far this season, our team has not been involved in any game.
Well, they had that one game.
Yeah.
Not very good Virginia Tech team. But closing out, U.S. Grand Prix. We're seeing the Formula One making fun of every American stereotype possible on social media this week. Everybody's a cowboy, and Daniel Ricciardo's a country singer. And Yuki Tsunoda's wearing bolo ties, and it's like a cowboy hat helmet that he'll be wearing, and they're eating barbecue, and it's like, God, why don't
It's
you,
just funny. It's awesome.
why don't you, why don't you just go eat hamburgers and become overweight if you're going to do all the stereotypes of America?
Hey, go for it. You're gonna make me laugh. It may be true, but I don't care.
Did you see the this was from 2021 where Shaq handed out the trophies at the US Grand Prix?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
and somebody photoshopped Shaq standing next to Verstappen on the podium and made Shaq even bigger, so he was taller than Verstappen standing on the podium, the top step.
Get Shaq and Yuki next to each other.
You know what else they were doing? The AlphaTauri guys. So it was Ricardo and Yuki. They were doing flip cup. Like, come on, guys! Like, stop it! Like, you're finding our worst stereotypes.
They are true.
Next they're going to be like, instead of using champagne, they're going to be celebrating with Busch Light or PBR. Can you imagine that instead of the Ferrari champagne bottles, they come out there and hand them cans of like Natty Light.
Oh, let's just do it right. Give them 40s.
Some Colt 45s, some Mickeys.
Hey, it's Texas. Bring it out.
Oh,
Bring the 40s. Shake them up
man.
and have fun.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, yeah, okay, America, we're fat, we're lazy,
They're not
drunks.
wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing a podcast and
I'm at least drinking light
beers.
beer. I'm drinking light beer.
I got the Saugatuck Brewing peanut butter porter.
Oh yeah, the peanut butter. A lot of those peanut butter drinks.
Yeah, they're good. With my Pella Windows koozie that I got from Iowa.
Oh, nice. Yeah, just don't. I retract that statement I was about to say, but yeah, Pella. I mean, they make nice windows. Some of them are very expensive, but
I think that's every window company out there.
yeah, I just did windows at my house this year. It's less than I thought it would be, but it was ouch when I wrote those checks.
I'd almost rather just buy a new house when it's time for new windows.
It's just the problem is with when we were buying, like, to get the size we wanted, we had to go in at a price range where it was just like, we knew the windows are going to be close to end of the life. We know the roof is going to be at the end of life. We know the AC is going to be at the end of life, and we've replaced all three. So we are committed to this home for a long, long time now. We've got the roof, the windows, and the new AC. So
And there you go. Kind of important out there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And my wife's paranoia is why we got the new roof. She swears she saw something. Like, okay, what do you like, William Shatner in the Twilight Zone? Something on the wing. And she calls this roofing inspector, and he goes up and he takes a picture. He's like, yeah, you got a bunch of cracked tiles by one of your exhaust vents. So it's like, if you have a torrential rainstorm, you're gonna have water in your attic. It's like, and she's like, okay, we're getting a new roof. I'm like, we're getting a new roof. All right. And and it's the tile roofs like a lot of the houses have out here. So for a week straight, that is all I heard 10 hours a day, 5 days straight. And I still have in my head, I can't get it out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, home ownership.
That's fun.
Said Arizona Coyotes. We've talked fights. We've talked home ownership. What else are we going to?
It sounds about right for garage talk.
I mean, it's,
it's kind of what you talk about at a garage.
Yeah, when you're in the garage, you can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be racing. And, the schedule's starting to get a little light. So we're filling the time with other things.
Yeah, still, if you have ideas or want to hear our crazy rants or invalid input on different topics, shoot us a message and like, hey, what do you guys think about this?
Oh, I got a lot of opinions on that.
Yeah. If I don't know, I'm gonna make something up. I'm just gonna tell you that.
Yeah,
we'll make it sound good though.
We're in this is the 21st century in the social media era. There's no such thing as facts. What was the line from Seinfeld? It's like, if you believe it is the truth, then technically it's not a lie.
Hey, Facebook tells no lies.
Yes, that's yeah. I believe everything you see on social media. I think my favorite one on social media is the quote that says like, um, if you see an important person's picture next to a quote on the internet, it must be true. Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, very true.
yeah,
Pretty sure you said that.
yeah.
I was there when he did it.
Yeah, what was that? The Gettysburg Address, maybe?
Yeah, it was just a couple of years ago. I remember like it was yesterday.
Oh, Lincoln, like the car. Yeah.
I drove
Anyway.
one of those.
I've never driven a Lincoln, actually. Yeah, that should about do it for this week. So thank you for tuning in as always. And for those watching on Stadium Scene TV during our Saturday simulcast, you can actually check us out Friday nights on our Twitch feed at FR Racing Online. Or you can download this as a podcast. So thank you again for tuning in. If you're new to the show, welcome. Hope you enjoyed our banter, which I think has been about 45 minutes now. It's about right.
It's about shorter than normal.
Well, we've started this. We promised these shows would be no longer than 15 minutes in length. What a bunch of liars.
Well, we made one that long.
We did. The first one was 15 minutes, and then they got progressively longer.
Oh, then the other one. You weren't there. It was me and Taka.
Oh, yeah, you and Taka. That's right. I was on vacation. You and Taka hosted. I still edited the show from my hotel room.
I was like, wow, that was short.
I'm like, hey, that's easy for me. Get that queued up and off we go. So so check out Behind Closed Doors finale next week.
Well, I'll have the in-car camera. Unfortunately, we can't announce it. It'd be an awesome race.
It would have been. We'll have the fun race in some format or another. We'll throw that out there. Who wants to come join our live stream and banter over the fun race? So we'll get that scheduled here relatively soon, and
be on the lookout. Season 8.
Season 8 of Wednesday Night schedule. Dash. Take some time off. Do some random streams of just some open sessions. I just don't like the open sessions. They're so toxic. And I'm just like, I don't want to waste my time.
Last couple of indie races I've done Class C open wheel series. I'm sorry.
US open wheel Class C. You can't call it the blank car anymore.
I've had some really good splits. They've been really strong and a lot of top drivers that I've gotten to go up against. I still have a lot to learn.
So there's this guy on TikTok that we follow. I like his handle's like iSim Race.
Yeah.
I got
ask him and come on.
Yeah, we should bring him on. It's hilarious. And
chatted with him a little bit.
He posted this TikTok the last couple of days, and he's in an open session, and this guy gets wrecked. He gets on the radio, and he's just like cussing the guy out. He's cussing him out, dropping F-bombs. Like, why can't you hold your line? The other guy calmly gets on. He's like, dude, you should check the replay. It's like, I don't need to check a replay. It was you. He goes, dude, it wasn't me. Check the replay. He goes, you're in the Hendrick car in the 11. Like, look at my number. I'm not the 11. And he goes back. He's like, well, I apologize.
Yes. Before you start yelling, go look at the replay.
Go look at the replay before you cuss out the wrong person. Like, you shouldn't be cussing people out anyway. It's just tiring.
As always, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We really enjoy bringing this to you every week.
At FR Racing Online, FRRacingOnline.com. We'll have some updates here soon on the AFSP 200. We're working with a group to make this happen. We actually might have a corporate backer who might be throwing some money into our fundraiser, which is really exciting. I don't know if Eric even knows this yet. Do you know that yet?
I haven't heard that yet.
No, I'll tell you offline. Because we're not ready to officially announce it yet because it's not final. But I'll when we hit stop, we'll talk more about that. So again, frracingonline.com at frracingonline. Thanks for
Check us
watching.
out on Tuesday.